the police precinct, nobody was using that because of the protests. So like, we're not going to get arrested, let's go do it. So we just, without thinking about it, just did it. Had no idea what was going to happen. Protests honestly kind of made like a full circle, because before then I'd never really seen myself as like an activist or protest.
What kind of advice do you have for artists?
Kind of just go up there, you're already ahead of the curve.
Exactly.
So like just do it.
But that one wasn't the first one. What was the first project that we did together?
I think it was...
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
We're back. Another episode of Graffiti Park Radio coming at you live from the KUNV studios here at none other than the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I'm Dan with my beautiful, wonderful co-host, other Dan, and Miss Anika Jones.
The most beautifulest.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And today, our special guest is Mr. Perry Porter.
Yeah, baby.
He is a modern visual artist and songwriter hailing from Tacoma, Washington. He focuses on the aesthetics of black magic, encompassing both black girl magic and black boy joy. His work explores the documentation of contemporary events and their potential presentations. By intertwining abstract movement with recognizable human forces, Porter creates pieces where meanings shift, allowing for a wide range of interpretations. This duality is evident in both his music and visual creations. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I feel great. I haven't heard anybody say that out loud, so that sounds lit.
Dude, I practice. You got another paragraph in here, but I figured we might hit that later. We might hit that. Cool. You're doing good, man. So you bounce back and forth between here and Washington.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, in California too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, because so I'm from Seattle. I moved out here to be closer to Las Vegas. I didn't know LA. I didn't know anything about Las Vegas, and then came here and kind of like fell in love with it. So I bounced between here and Seattle pretty much every 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Okay.
It's a lot. And then and LA's just right there, which was the goal, but I'd be here so much now. I love it out here.
Nice.
Good to hear.
That's awesome, man. When was that first jaunt down Vegas?
It was at the end of 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. It was like
the
right
Wild
after
West.
the George Floyd protests and stuff. Because I was doing that at Seattle.
Okay.
Did that, then came down here and was just chilling.
Cool. Well, awesome, man. We're happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Dan.
Wait, so how long have you been in Las Vegas then?
Like four years technically.
Okay.
4 years. It feels like 2, just because I don't be here that much.
Yeah.
But it's been 4 years.
Okay.
I know enough people. Y'all were one of the first people I like met, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Like in the first 6 months maybe.
Yeah, because that would have been like late 2021-ish, right in that time frame when we got connected.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. You've done a couple of projects with us. I remember distinctly Myrtle Tate. There was a like a tiger shark.
Oh yeah,
the tiger shark.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
But that one wasn't the first one. What was the first project that we did together?
I think it was. I did a portrait, and I did the shark sunflower at a school. Those I know it was either one of those two, and then there's tiger shark was the third time we did some stuff. But it was either the headquarters or one of the other schools.
And for those listening, Myrtle Tate, their mascot is the Tigers, and Perry did a tiger, but then put a shark fin. So it was a tiger shark.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's pretty sweet.
Well, you started off saying that you came here after George Floyd, and of course we've got to talk about the mural that you did in Seattle and that you continue to do. This was just past your 5th year annual of that. Can you talk a little bit about that and how you've put culture and politics into your artwork and how that's transformed you over here?
That protest honestly kind of made it was full circle, because before then I'd never really seen myself as an activist or protest kind of person. I've always been the nerdy, weird black kid.
We love that though.
I wasn't picked on or anything. I was always just kind of me, so I never really seen how much of an importance that was to people in the comfortability. So when that stuff was going on, everybody knows I'm very outspoken. I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist, so that's what's going on. I would go to the news and they would be saying so many different things that was actually going on in the protest. So that really started piquing my interest to really be involved in more stuff. And then one day, another artist, her name's Takia, she hit up a bunch of artists that she knew that locally did stuff, and she was like, "Hey, I seen DC, they did this mural. We should do one, but instead it'll be all the artists from the community. We'll all get a letter, just do it real quick. the police precinct, nobody was using it at the time because of the protests. So like we're not going to get arrested, let's go do it. So we just, without thinking about it, just did it. Had no idea what was going to happen after that. Like all the news people started picking it up, all these other places. Like it became this huge thing. Which then the city came back and were like, all right, let's do like a whole thing. We'll pay you guys. We'll make like a monument in the city. And that's what we started doing every year. So like it was on some, we're just trying to do something we've always done. We've always been like very local. Yeah. Seattle's very DIY kind of place, from like punk art to all that. So like nobody really thought it was going to be what it is. And like everyone took off from there. So it was really cool.
So was it more of a positive response to your activism?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's still like, even I'm on Antifa watch list.
Of course.
I'm on like a bunch of, like anytime I'm painting outside as a black man, there's someone on some Trump. Like there's always going to be all that weird stuff, which like before 2020, it was not really like in my perspective. But the amount of positivity way outweighs that so much. Yeah. That, like it just comes with it now. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that.
I love it.
Yeah. I like to buck up on people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
That's awesome, man.
So can we, I guess we'll backtrack a little, how did you get your start? Was it in Tacoma? How did you get your start as an artist, or where did you find your footing first?
Oh man, so I was a band geek. In high school, I was a kid who built the studio in their garage and like everybody come rap and stuff like that. But I was like always drawn. I was in band. So I did drums, percussion, jazz band, marching band, all that stuff.
Love that.
Fun.
But I'm from Spanaway, Tacoma. It's like a small city, so I didn't really think it was going to be much of anything. I just did stuff to be out of trouble.
Yeah.
Then the music started taking off when I was in my young 20s, from just doing a lot of punk shows, all that stuff. I needed someone to do my merch. The art I was into was way too expensive to buy. So I was like, man, I can kind of draw. Let me just like figure it out.
Yeah.
So like maybe 12 years ago, I was like, I'm going to just figure out how to do watercolor. And then that kind of just took off. I knew how to promote myself from the rap stuff. So like just started folding. And then like 2017, met some like muralist people. They started telling me how to use a can, all that. And yeah, it just kind of just spilled into each other, bro.
That's awesome. So music first was that first outlet.
Yeah, music's always, I don't do as much music now compared to the art stuff, but music has always been the core of everything.
I love to hear that.
You've done, and correct me if I'm wrong, haven't you done shows where you're like doing both?
Yeah.
Like doing art and then rapping and then
doing some live painting.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about how those work or came about.
So like I've always been known for doing live shows. From like was in a punk group, we're taking off our shirts, we're screaming, we're running around, jumping. So I just wanted to find ways to kind of just elevate the show once I left the little punk group I was in, started doing solo things. And when I first started doing the art and rap thing, a lot of people were telling me it wasn't going to work out. They were like, you either have to pick being a painter, you got to pick being a rapper, it's going to confuse everybody. So then I just like was very like bent on making this happen. So then I just like see all the live stuff. I was like, oh man, that'd be cool if I had like a live painter. Like that'd be even doper if you just did it. And it's like you always paint by yourself and you're always working on stuff, like just treat it like you're at home. And I tried it out and people just loved it, and they were like buying the paintings off the stage after I'm done and stuff. So it was cool.
That's really cool. That's like dope. A performance art sort of perspective. Now you said that you're Basquiat meets Hove. I love that. I love that a lot. I'll ask you what your favorite Jay-Z album is later. But what do you mean by that for people who don't understand that?
It's just like the black excellence of just both art forms. It's like when black painters talk about it, that's Basquiat. When rappers talk about it, and like that's where I take the pride in, is the fact of I don't see me being the painter rapper as like this niche kind of thing. Exactly. It's the fact that like, no, if you talk to the other rappers, I'm one of their favorite rappers. If you talk to the other painters, I really care about the craft enough to be at the peak of that. So that's like both sides. Whatever you're into, I got the best of that.
I love that. Well, you're definitely embodying that. Is there a chapter that you feel like you haven't touched in that way that is just maybe personal and private for you, that's not really connected so much to your hip hop, hierarchy?
I would say the band geek stuff. I don't really like lean or talk about it enough. Like because I am a rapper, I don't really produce or make all this. So people don't really know. Like in my spare time, I'd be listening to jazz, funk, Japanese stuff, and whatever it is, we just be listening to everything.
You hear it in your hip hop, for sure.
So do you produce your own music, like beats wise? No?
I thoroughly enjoy the collaboration of music and just like that. I like, even with doing the painting rap stuff, I really don't like the idea of like I'm a artist who just does everything and just by myself in my room just making all this. Like, I want to hang out with my friends. And you working on a video. Like, when I do music, I like separate it. So it's like my solo projects are like all the music with all my friends. So like there'll be 15 producers on it, and then I'll do a project with just the homie where it's just like, we'll take all your beats and we'll span and make this whole world of just like us hanging out type thing, and just do that with all the homies. Like, I'm really into the collaborative part of music.
I love that.
That's awesome.
So cool. Awesome. And I feel like music is a lot more collaborative in that spirit, in that effort. Just like in the one way that all of your friends, anybody in your group is going to push you a little bit further, and then also encourage you to be a little bit more outgoing, I guess. Have you always been an outgoing and collaborative person, or was that something that was learned along the way?
I think I've always kind of been like that. I've noticed it more, but so when I was a kid, I was playing basketball, skateboarding, anime, band, rapping. I was just everywhere. So it just kind of was just used to it. And then once I got older, it's like, oh, like this is a very good attribute to have, very character to have and everything. So it's just, I just love hanging out with people and just, you're into something different. I can learn today, figure out something else, a different perspective. I'm really into that.
I love that.
Go. I was gonna say, it sounds like you're uniquely, in a positive way, like confident just in your own skin and who you are, combined with like a level of just open-mindedness and like a lifelong student of like how to learn things. What kind of advice do you have for artists? Because we've talked to folks both on and off air that are like, yeah, it took me 20 years to like get comfortable with like who I was and lean into it. What kind of advice do you have to someone who struggles with that identity?
Honestly, it's really just like that. Like, even from live painting, I have a bunch of friends who be like, man, how you live paint? And then my response is like, they don't know when it's done. They don't know. They're just really impressed that you're like up there doing it. You know, just you having the confidence alone is enough for them to support it. And that's like, oh, I've just really looked at everything. It's like, hey, man, everyone's kind of freaking out. Everyone does it. You know, if you just kind of just go up there, you're already ahead of the curve.
Exactly.
You know, so like, just do it. Like, we're all figuring it out at the same time. If you're not learning, I just feel like you're kind of like, you're setting yourself back.
Yeah, so much of that's just like in our own reality, our own perception of it. And like just getting over that hill, you know.
People even admire people who fail. Because even the fact that you just did it, you know what I'm saying? If you fail enough, people might still help you succeed at one point. You know what I mean? Like, just go for it.
Well, it's funny that you even brought that up, because that's kind of all we're about, is that collaborative effort, not just with our artists, but especially with young artists, really kind of up and coming. I saw that you were doing some youth mural projects and things like that. Can you explain a little bit about that for us?
Yeah, so being from Spanaway, it's like more in the middle of nowhere. Everyone sees Seattle, especially in Washington, but it's like an hour and a half away from Seattle. So we don't like have a lot of the accesses to a lot of the bigger cities and stuff like that. So knowing that I had to like travel and do all these things to be seen, it was like, man, I just wish there was more older black men, or just even older men, who just like knew the struggles of doing these things, who can just kind of give me a little bit more game and just understand stuff like that. Like, when I was doing art as a kid, I didn't think it was like a real job. You know, I was like, I'm gonna go to college and like go get a real job and figure it out. And it was like, nah, man, you're like an artist. Like, you have to, do it. So like, doing stuff like that. So when I moved to Seattle, a lot of my homegirls, they would do like nonprofits and stuff like that, and they would just ask like, oh, we need men to like come talk to the kids and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I would love to do that. So I'd wish somebody when I was 16 would be like, oh bro, like, you don't got to be famous, you can go and do this as like a normal artist and have like a normal job, all this stuff. So I go there and talk to the kids, and then like sometimes I just start loving doing, because then it'd be like, meet a 16-year-old dude who's doing stuff he's not supposed to be doing. It's like, oh man, like, you can go print t-shirts, or you can go do something else instead of running the streets. I know you're just doing it because you want money, you know what I mean? Or like, you have a creative outlet, learn how to do it and stuff like that, and then them just seeing it. Like, when I go and do a lot of this teaching stuff, there's not a lot of teachers who like, I look more like a rapper and all these stuff. So these kids are like, oh snap, who's this guy? Okay, like he's doing the stuff that I kind of want to do or see myself doing, so I can like see it being more tangible now. So that's why I love doing that stuff.
The representation factor is huge, even in your artwork. You've shown that as well. So being able for the kids to not only see it through your artwork, but see it through your action is huge. That's very, very cool.
And that's awesome. So are these classes tailored specifically for kids, or I know you've had a couple of different workshops and
I do all over the place. Like, the one that we're talking about right now is through this place called Urban Artworks. They're a nonprofit that just strictly works with the youth, or like troubled youth and stuff like that. So it's either or, where it could be they're told by the courts that they have to do community service stuff, or their parents just signed them up for the summer school because like they're really artistically inclined. They just don't know what to do, and they get paid for doing it.
Oh wow.
So it's a whole apprenticeship. They get paid like $20 an hour.
Oh wow.
We do maybe like 12 hours a week. It's like an actual thing where they can put on their resume and like, hey, this is like your first job. And even that, telling them like, I would come up to Spanaway and like, I don't know how much to charge for a mural. Like I don't know the square footage or nothing. I'm just figuring it out. Like you have this stepping stool where you're like doing something for the YMCA or doing something for Amazon, and like being able to be 16 and be like, I got paid like close to $1,000 to do this project, and like we do the whole steps of color theory, learning how to like put the mural up and everything. It's like a 8-week program.
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
Then like all the other stuff I like to do is like the coloring book stuff where it's adult stuff. We 21 and up. Beverages, we get together, we still color because everyone still needs some type of meditation and creativity, even when they're younger or old. So I try to work all of them, even kindergarten, whoever wants to create. I'm a kid at heart forever, you know what I'm saying, but I'm only gonna get older, so I gotta get everybody.
Yeah. I love it.
I love that, man. I didn't even know that was I knew you were doing some stuff like that, but like the full programmatic aspect of that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great, bro. And it's something I wish, man, if I was 16, I'd be there every summer doing that.
So shifting gears a little bit to like your your artwork, whether it's your music or your artwork, like where do you draw like your creative process, your style? What's some of the stuff that leans into your inspiration, kind of how you get to where you're producing stuff?
Everything really. Anime for sure. I'm a big anime nerdy guy.
What's your favorite anime?
Cowboy Bebop will forever be that. It's a little slower to people. Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist. I do like Attack on Titan. There's just a bunch. I'm not like a super talk about it in public nerd, but I be private.
I got you.
it.
I'm on like book 17 of Attack on Titan.
Oh,
so
nice.
I've watched
Really?
it all, and now I'm
I'm
reading through it. But
that's why I want to start doing more of, getting back into the mangas.
Yeah, because it's a whole other.
Yeah,
Is it really?
do way better.
Yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
Some real drama going on here, dude. But sorry to throw you off. So
I love watching documentaries. I go out a lot. I like to party, like to hang out, and even from that, it's like me and my friends are gonna go skateboarding, or like I got a bunch of nieces, so I'll like have them come over sometimes. Let's build forts. I just like to just hang out with people, and that's where I get a lot of the ideas from.
So just a sponge, like whatever you got going on, that's what channels into your. So is there a time where you just kind of like sit down and create, or do you not try to force it like that? You just kind of.
The last like 5 years, I stopped like forcing it. Like in my 20s, I was really on some like student. I'm gonna watch a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna create every day. I'm gonna be doing all that. For the last 5 years, it's been like I'm just living more life and just creating. For sure.
I love that.
Have you seen a difference, or do you have a preference in it? Like having done both now.
The music, I've definitely feel the difference, because before I moved to Vegas, I was in the studio like 5 days a week, and I'm maybe in the studio like once every 4 months. So I definitely know like I don't have that quick wit as fast, but I know it's just like riding a bike. I can kind of get it, but I feel like I enjoy it more now. I just feel like I've gotten out of the student kind of aspect of it and just getting to be more of the master of my kind of craft. So.
I love that. And do you have, I guess it's like when you get into the studio, are they pre-formulated ideas, or are they like more off the top of the mind? Like,
definitely off the top of the mind. Even to the point where I tell friends, if you're going to send me, don't even send me a beat you want me to get on. Just wait till I'm at the studio, bro, because I'm going to be living life, forget about it.
Nice.
When I get there, like, we'll make it happen. Everybody knows, like, that's even when I've gotten on video games and all that stuff, is I had a really good reputation of, if he's here, we're going to finish something.
Yeah.
Like, if Perry comes to the studio, we're at least going to leave with, like, they might be half songs, but there's 5 half songs. And then we come back and we'll finish them, all that. Like, if I'm going to be in the studio, we got to have to work. We going to have to work. Like, I have all this energy that I've been chilling for a while. I got to get it all out. So
that's rad.
Well, I love the element of you talking about having, enjoying your life, living your life. That taps into the Black Girl Magic, the Black Boy Joy. How do you feel like you're channeling that as an adult and as an artist? Like, how do you give that to the audience, but then how do you give that for yourself?
I would say definitely just, I guess, being really interested into just, like, outside of my craft. Because that's, like, why I did it with even, like, rap was I'm like a really nerdy rapper, and I was like, man, a lot of rap is just about rapping. You know, and it's like they're not even talking about living lives. I don't know if any of these rappers have gone on vacation for a while. So, you know, like people are so focused on trying to make this thing. It's like, no, I want to be able to go travel, you know, fall in love, live, like have things that actually talk about my real life and my music. Because like I said, I've done the student part. I know the technicals of all that. It's like, now let's get to the actual like feeling of what people like really are going to enjoy about that part. And then I just see like people talk about time like, man, you travel so much, you get to do all this stuff, and it's like ties into like said the Black boy joy of just I'm just enjoying life, man. I'm just having fun, trying to see the world, explore things. Me and my girl say it all the time, like learn something new every day.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's a small thing.
Well, I love that you're perpetuating a different narrative, that we can be all different things, not just a stereotype, especially as artists, especially as hip-hop artists as well. I just love how you're doing that. Did you have any new music out that kind of channels that as well, or you just kind of focus on just the visual art?
See, like once I moved here, I slowed down a lot, but the last few months I've been rolling out an album called Black Boy Joy.
All right.
And that is the whole purpose of the album. Is like I grew up a very wild childhood, and like the silliness has never left me. You know, the curiosity and the confidence has never left, and like that is the point of the album. It's like, as Black people, we're not just this. We can be as nerdy, we can be as serious, we can be all these things, even as men, as artists, as painters. And that's what I even realized as doing the paint rap thing was like, oh man, as a Black man who paints, I look like I'm way more educated. And then when I'm a Black man who raps, it's more like I'm a degenerate, you know? And it was like just interesting seeing those aspects of certain things. It was like, oh, there's already these narratives that people have of certain things, and being able to try to just break through those.
Yeah. So. Can I ask, what has that perception been like, and has your family had any influence in that?
My family, they be running the streets, so they enjoy it. They're the ones that like pointed out to me the most. So it was just like, oh, you know, we're in these certain things, or like when you're looked at Perry the Painter, you know, you're looked at certain things. Or even like people say, they think my family like comes from a bunch of money or come from all this stuff, like, but they eat it up, you know. Or they'll be talked to certain people and they get to name drop me or like name drop Painter. They're so into it. But it's just always been very curious to me. It's like I'll do talks about doing an art show, and I'll tell them like, oh, that there has to be a music aspect because that's like a very big part of it. And it's like, oh, you know, it's cool. And then once you realize like, oh, like it's like rap music, and then the music, like, you know, like things start slowing down a little bit. Like, oh, okay, now then the insurance starts coming a thing, and then like how many people are showing, you know, then you start noticing small stuff like that. But
can I ask, do you think like the type of rap at all matters? Is it because it's labeled exclusively as like hip hop or rap, or do you think that it'd be different if it was a jazz rap
or like spoken word or whatever, right?
Definitely that. And like I had saw it to my own detriment because I know I do make rowdy stuff. I'm kind of a wild guy. Like this was another thing too. I was supposed to be in one of the newspapers for one of the cities back home for like prominent adult figures and all this stuff.
Okay.
And they found out that I had a pole dancer at one of my shows. It was 21 Up in show. She wasn't stripping or anything. It was just pole dancing, you know, fitness, all that stuff.
Okay.
Like, I like it.
But the fact that was tied to it, they were like, we don't know if you could be a part of this campaign anymore because of that. It was like,
interesting.
You know, I was like, small stuff of that, but I was like, I could see the line with that. I understand it, but it was just like, oh, okay. There's just certain aspects of being a rapper where I just have to be a little bit more cautious with just stuff like that. But
well, and even representation, I think we even go through that with our name alone. Being able to change a narrative by your actions is a huge thing. So maybe 6 months from now, a couple years from now, they're like, you know what, this guy's a really stand-up guy. Like, I don't know if we care so much about that pole dancer. Never can tell, you know?
No, that's a good point because, like, even back home, graffiti and street art are like two different things, you know? And then when you say the word graffiti, you mean, you know, like delinquent, kind of doing all these things.
Right.
So, like,
Exactly.
And it depends on just who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You know? And it can just change through time.
Can I ask, what do those terms mean to you? What's the difference between graffiti and a street artist?
Oh man, they're really, to me personally, there's not a difference. When I hear everybody else says it, it's just that is, oh, someone paid you some money to do this. You think someone did pay you. That's just how everyone else looks at it. But to me, it's like when people say rap and hip hop, man, it's the same thing to me. Like,
I think that's well said. I think that's like one of the misfortunes in like graffiti culture is this like eat your own piece of like if there'll be graffiti artists that are respected, but it's like, oh well, they're a muralist now, and it's like, okay, like they just did the name of the building in sick letters, I want to, like, what we were just talking about, like the pole dancer and asking about hip hop and all this like language and whatnot. I think like art has to be on the edge of what's like socially acceptable and not, right? Like maybe not has to isn't the right language, but like good art pushes that boundary, especially as like adult. Obviously if you're working with kindergartners, there's levels, but like as adults, it's like,
but good art makes you feel something.
And that's like what many would argue the definition of art, something that evokes an emotion, right? And so I think it's like super refreshing to hear and talk to you about that. You're unapologetically the artist that you want to be in whatever medium that is. I think that's like I want to shout you out on that. I think that's super cool, because I think that's like the purpose of art is to just be that, like thread that needle, So.
Just man, because especially that too is I just want people to know, like, say, I can go do the 21 and up show with the pole dancer, and then tomorrow go teach some 5th graders or something.
Exactly.
Like, and I know how to split those two
Dude,
worlds,
it's CCSD out here.
Sorry. Just the fact of like bringing the idea of like being men in our community, we should be able to do all different aspects of this.
Absolutely. And it's back to that representation thing that I was talking about. You've been an incredible representation, not just for artists, not just for Washington, but for our community as well. What are some new things that you're kind of into, trying to do, that we should hear about?
I'm always on the fence with rap stuff. I just feel like commercial music is in a weird place that I don't know if I want to all the way participate with. Just because language is so in a unique spot right now. Where it's like graffiti, all that stuff. So it's like just trying to just balance on that side of things. Doing way more events. That's definitely been my thing now. Especially going back to what we're saying is I'm not even really. I have a following on social media, but I'm not like do all the trends and do all those things. I'm still unapologetically myself with those. But like I feel like the community and talking to people and being able to touch people is so important right now. So that's what I'm gonna do is way more actual like in-person events. So like the coloring book I got right now, that's tied to my album. So I've been doing a bunch of events with that. I also am a part of a nonprofit called Black Winds that we started around the George Floyd thing. Was like aspect of all we're saying now was like I go to the protests, there'd be peace talks, people are like planning in the park now, like fruits and vegetables, all this stuff going on, and then I go and watch the news and they're talking about people handing out guns and all this stuff. And like just said the conspiracy theory in me, all that stuff was going online and being like, man, there's so much Black history that's just focused on trauma and not like on just the triumphs or just the fact of like Black people don't be caring about a lot of the stuff that people think we be caring about. You know what I mean? Like so like making something that was about Black history, but it's just the triumphs of it.
Yeah.
When we also go to that city. So like we went to Tulsa and we talked to people in there. We went to Oakland, we talked to the Black Panthers, and like getting people who actually lived their point of view of the history instead of us like playing this telephone chat GPT kind of what's Black history computer and then the computer telling you. So like those are things I've been like the most focused on.
I love that, man.
Beautiful.
For the record, when I'm like, hey, those are nice sunglasses, there's not an innuendo in there.
The face is given.
Just
you know what I'm saying?
I'll be like, Anika, those are sick sunglasses.
No. It's like, Anika, you look like Federer. Those are sick sunglasses.
You had a tennis skirt on and Wilson socks. You looked
Serena.
a little. Okay, so then if I say Serena, you're gonna be like, "Oh, you feeling froggy?" So it's
it's a
can't
cancer.
win for losing. Anyways, Perry, we're back.
It's
after hours.
Triple cancers amongst the Pisces in that place, but I maintain.
But
and
you
I'm
got
also
great
the
glasses
oldest.
too. You got
those
some
are
pretty
nice.
cool goggles.
Those are very nice.
Those prescription.
Yep, they are.
Oh,
yeah.
that's even better.
Nice.
Hell
fake.
yeah.
Fancy.
So you had a question?
I did have a
Mr. Perry?
question. You said Basquiat meets Hove. What is your favorite Jay-Z?
Oh man, my absolute favorite Jay-Z album is Reasonable Doubt.
Nice. I'm a Volume 1 girl, so we're relative.
Volume 1 is great.
Yeah. That
Volume
made me a
1
fan.
is great. Where I'm from is probably one of my favorite songs.
Okay,
ever.
okay.
That's a top 5 Jay-Z
Nice.
song.
Mine's
That's it.
Imaginary Playmate.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know,
I love
you know.
Jay-Z.
All right,
Yeah,
moving on.
I love
No, that was good.
Yeah.
That's all I have to get out of there.
That was
I'm done. I can take my shades off too.
all. When we were wrapping up there, you mentioned. I thought you were gonna leave them on. You were mentioning like going to Tulsa and having conversations. Like, can you unpack that a little bit? That's awesome, man. Like,
yeah, man. So it's called Black Winds. It started with me and 3 other friends from Sonaway. We would just go to the protests. We would see how it was different from what the news was. We were just like, man, we should find a way that we are giving our people our news, our history, that it's from us. It's not on some telephone, ChatGPT. It's not me just going on Google being like,
there's no influence one way. It's like, here's what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's from people who said, there's their families, all this stuff. So started doing that 4 years ago. Now we've been to Tulsa. We've been to New York to do hip hop. Nice. We've been to Brooklyn to do Harlem Renaissance.
Cool.
To do that. Oakland. Where else have we been? We just went back from Chicago. And then we did an episode on Tacoma and Seattle. So we've just been doing a bunch of stuff for that. So we go do the whole thing, stay there for like 3 days. We meet everybody. We go to the museum. We meet all the historians there. We go to a bunch of local places. Like, it's been really cool.
That's awesome,
really,
man.
really cool.
Dude, that's so cool. And so how do you plan out these trips? Are they with your friends? Are they with this group? Or are you?
It's just with this group. So got one video person. We got one that's like the face that talks. I do all the art and the social media and kind of like the foot traffic, all that. I'm the guy who be outside. So
Okay.
And then we have a screenwriter. So we all go together. And then luckily we've all been friends since we were kids.
Yeah.
Like, the screenwriter is my DJ when I do rap shows.
Okay.
The video guy is my actual video guy that does my
photos
and stuff. And then Jazz used to do interviews and stuff.
Nice.
So like we've been in the music industry in Seattle, and then we all decided to do this together.
So there's already that synergy as the team.
So can I ask, because I'm sure so many people at home think that's freaking amazing. How do I get involved in that? How do I do that? A lot of our artists don't really understand how to travel, how to bring their art to other places. Can you speak on that, of like being an artist and kind of bootstrapping your own?
Yeah, man. At first it is always harder because like the initial part is you just have to do a lot of cold calling, outreach, and just kind of knowing what's going on in that city and aspects. So like that's what we did with like Tulsa, like let's hit the museums, let's tell them what we're doing, like proof of concept. So we already had videos. Like the first videos we did were like how Black history started, or like Juneteenth and then stuff like that. And then that's when certain cities would ask us to do their city and all that. So just a bunch of cold calling. And then I'm always a very advocate person, just going outside and just talking to people. Yeah. And just seeing what they got going on and seeing their needs. Like even with like y'all, it's like when I first met y'all, I was like, oh, I do this. Like, where do you guys kind of need help with and what's going on? And that just kind of just funneled a lot of stuff for us, for sure.
Did you feel that kind of love and connection in Las Vegas, trying to do the same sort of things? Have you thought of bringing something like that to Las Vegas as well?
Oh yeah, like when I first moved out here, I had no idea about any of the scene. Like I helped my mom move out here, and then I seen the Artist Factory. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I'll shut up shop and do something here. I think I went to a First Friday and was like, oh, this is so much potential.
Yeah, okay.
Did not know anything about it. And then when I came here, I was like, oh, it's a smaller city than Seattle when it comes to, like, the creativity and all that. So it was like, oh, I think I can help in all aspects. But that's just the one thing I realized is people are trying, making things stuff here. It's like, oh, it's just smaller. Yeah. So just keeping the morale of things and just showing people, like, even when I started doing stuff, meeting people here and they would see me doing stuff in Seattle, they're like, oh shoot, okay, like I see what y'all doing out here, we'll start aspecting and doing something over here. So yeah.
That's so cool, man. I really want to compliment you. Like, you're one of the most active artists that we know, I would say, and not in a way of like just art or just one medium or not, but in the way that you really are practicing what you're preaching, that you're really out there doing something artistic, something where you feel like your cup is getting filled every day. And I want to just say, bro, I got to give you your kudos. Keep doing it. I'm sure there's so many artists out there that are looking, they're like, how does this fool produce this much? Like, how do you?
It'd be a lot.
So to that question, like, how do you find the balance between, the dichotomy of the creative and your personal life and family and all of that?
Man, I've never really like asked myself how I've kind of done it. It's just really being a crazy person.
I get it.
Definitely helps with
Great
that,
answer
for sure. But I was just like, I'm very, very passionate. And I'm really like, about being what I've like am about. You know, I don't like being one of those people who just likes to be online and just talk about certain stuff. I want to be outside. And then just that for itself was like being a kid from like a really small city and like having these like crazy lofty dreams and then going to a bigger city and like having to realize them like kind of made me like understand like, oh, like I could be this every day and like something's going to happen. Like I said, I don't have to be rapper Perry every day or painter Perry. Like I can just indulge in this 110%, and as long as I do that 110%, like I'll be fine. You know, like I'm smart enough. Like if you're good at one thing, you would be surprised how good you are at other things. And it's more or less the curiosity is what made you what you're good at. You know, like from a basketball player, because they really like that sport. You know what I mean? That's why they got good, because they were going to do it longer than you were going to ever want to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're going to, when they were kids, they're going to shoot the 200 baskets because they're not even thinking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
They want to do
They
that.
just wanted to do it. So like
Right.
that's just how I just try to look at things. Like I'm just looking as a kid, enjoying myself, having fun. Like it's just, don't feel like exhausted or I'm like spinning myself. Or even if I need to take that time, really taking that time, because like I gave 150% at the studio. I do have deserved the time to go sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh man, I kind of half-assed it. We can cuss now, right?
Yeah.
Kind of half-assed this, you know what I'm saying? So then now I'm worried about all these other things because I'm like kind of bullshitting.
Yeah.
Right. You're trying to like make up for what you didn't do versus just putting it all on the line. You're like, okay, like I can.
Because even if I fail, like shit, I put it all on the line. Now I can just go.
I gave it everything. Yeah.
Now you've given us everything today
Hell
and in the
yeah,
community,
yeah.
but what do you want to see for our art scene that you feel like you can contribute to, or that you don't see that you wish you could?
wouldn't say it's more or less the actual scene itself. It's like realizing all the people who come here that it's more than just the strip.
Yeah.
You know, even when I have friends here, it's like, oh, but like it's more like home than you think it is,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I mean? Like there's people doing stuff that we're doing, all this stuff. Like it's just not this one spot. Or like you don't have to spend. You can go do the same thing for $30, $50 somewhere else and support local and everything. So that's like where I want to try to help with that. Is like I believe in the quality of what I do. Is like, you know, if we can get people off the strip to come see something, I could prove the point that this is just as good as anything else they're gonna get on the strip.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I think is, and I think maybe that comes with also here being more confident in themselves. That like y'all have the talent to make that happen and start taking those people off the strip. And as of right now, it's the perfect time. People are not really trying to go to the strip. People are not spending money. Like,
right.
That is.
but people love Vegas, man. People love it.
That they do. You mentioned events are like your big focus right now. Is that something that like you seek out different venues and places and businesses to do events at, or are like events seeking you out as the entertainment piece, or maybe a combination of the both?
It's a combination of both. There's like, I'm a firm believer of going to those things. Because like, even like from y'all guys, from Coco, that I do the coloring book thing with, is I've come to the thing first just to support and just see what's like going on.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, oh, like this aligns with what I already mess with. Then we'll start talking and
Yep,
doing
yep,
stuff.
yep.
And then it's like, oh, okay, he does cool stuff then. That. And then through those relationships, then other people have called me
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
do those type of things. So.
Tight.
Dude, I dig it.
Yeah.
Dude, you are a Renaissance man. You out here.
Dude, I love using that word.
I love
What's
it.
your title? Renaissance man.
That's a good title, dude.
Wait a minute. We also didn't give kudos to the hip hop because it's pretty dope shit. Like
It's dope
that's
shit.
not, when it comes to hip hop, that's not anything I like to lie or would lie about, and it's more than quality. You could always check it out. And we don't even have to say if you're inclined to check it out. Check that shit out. It's really good.
That's where the most confidence lies.
Yeah,
right there.
it's very, very good.
Is it
Both.
Perry Porter? Like, are you on Spotify? Are you? Oh,
Yeah, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Spotify. I might even be on a TV show you
Right
watch.
here. Right here, yeah. We'll link that in the future.
Well, I think what we should link is the Park Day video. Graffiti Park, we've thrown one musical ensemble act, I guess. It was at our old office, the Ocho. I don't even know if we actually released any of that footage anywhere. But one of Dan's high school buddies is in a band called Park Day. And so they were looking for a venue to have their first live show at. And you actually live performed there. If you remember that correctly. Yeah, I think we still may have some footage of that too. And so
we had one of my buddies DJ'd. He had a honeycomb shirt on.
Nice.
And I think Perry rapped for like a couple songs, and then they just this alternative group who somehow just was like fantastic.
That's
I'm like,
great.
and they were like same thing, like they're all just band nerds in high school, and now they're just following their dreams, trying to do the same thing. So,
orchestra nerd here.
Okay.
Bass player, baby.
Love
Yeah. I appreciate that. I love that you talked about that and kind of channeling that. This might have been something you went through. There was an element of that not being cool enough to celebrate, but the better you got with your instrument, the more you knew this was so much bigger than what any particular group thought was cool or not. You're creating real art. That was my first experience with art. Would you say that band experience really like helped you channel that confidence, that like I could care less what other people think sort of thing?
Yeah, because that's like how I tell people is everything, like being a black dude now that's in these steps is so different when it was like said 20 years ago. It was like you have to just really be in this because you really just liked it. You know, like you're not gonna get friends from this. You're not gonna get girls from this. Like, you just really like to do this thing, you know. So it was like, that's where a lot of that confidence fully came. I was like, oh, like this. I've always been this since I was 7, 8. You know, so nothing changed. There was no outside influencer for why I really like to do these things. So even when you were saying for like, I got picked on more by my family.
Exactly.
Outside, you know what I mean? But it's like, oh, this is what I really like to do. I can tell just off of that alone.
So can I ask, because I know that there's 2 artists specifically here in Las Vegas that are amazing artists. They, in their free time, make music, and I wouldn't necessarily call it rap music, but they're hip-hop related, I guess, hip-hop adjacent, whatever you're looking for.
I'll take it.
And both of them, they'll send me songs like that they'll, record on the microphone at their home or whatever, but they won't create a Spotify playlist. They won't put it on SoundCloud. They won't put themselves out there. Do you have any pieces of advice for them or for anybody that's like teetering on that? Should I put it out there? Should I put it on the internet? Should I put it as commercial music on Spotify or any of these major platforms? Do you have any piece of advice for them?
I mean, like, if you're looking to sell it, you're definitely going to have to come to terms that it's a business in that aspect. But luckily, like, we're in such this weird world with the internet that you can just put your stuff out and there's going to be some type of audience for it. Especially I feel like if you're more completely authentic to who you are, there are people who are into the most obscure whatever things. And you might not even really know what people really like or how your music's received if you're never really fully putting it out. You know, like you have to take that risk. And it can be as simple as you just putting it out, or you can have a really thought out product, you know what I mean, where you got a video, marketing dollars, all that, but you can go either way with it, really. But it's at least in it, just put it out, man. Just put it out. You just got to see how people feel about it.
Because I'll tell you what, there's like plenty of people putting out stuff.
That's terrible. That's so bad, bro.
Yes.
That's what I see. It's like, yo, there's so much shitty art that's being out.
Oh my!
Just put yours out, man.
And you can tell they're doing stuff for virality.
Like that's what's wild.
You know. And then you're like, you're muted.
You know? And that's like where I feel like with the rapper stuff. It's like, even that I don't push that Spotify as much. You have to like buy it directly from me, more or less now.
Sure.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that too comes from like Spotify. You don't get that much money from it.
Like, dude. And there's people farming Spotify views, and it's
so fabricated, all that. And that's what's like, don't even worry about. If the commercial side could be such a lie and so fabricated that you're like stressing yourself off for something that's not really real, that's just like a marketing campaign, you know. It's like, find your tribe and just put it out. There's no better time now than you can just find your little niche group, and they could be 100 people, 300 people give you $10. You made 3,000. That's a million Spotify plays.
Yep.
You know what I mean? A million Spotify plays is $3,000. So like you can look at that from any business aspect from yourself. You want to, you know what I mean? Like. Say if you wanted to get 3,000 fans, if they all give you $1, you've done the same thing. You know, so it's like you can be a small artist and still make a living doing that. It's just I feel like people are so obsessed with these large arbitrary numbers.
The virality piece of it. You know, and it's like that doesn't, a million views or listens, that, like you just said, does not equal like you know, whatever you think it is, whether it's financial or cloud or whatever,
or
quality.
There's like
or quality.
I've screened my phone so much today and don't remember half of it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Straight up.
And they still get those plays or those views, but it didn't mean much of anything. No.
Perry Porter, it's been a pleasure. What else? Is there anything we have not covered?
Anything you'd like to get off your chest here while we're hanging out?
Nah, man, it's been a great day.
That's great.
Good. You got a new book. I got another book I'll tell you about. I think will be tight.
I'll have my book.
Well, let's go get some Cuiginos then.
Cuiginos.
Yeah.
Thank you.